Yo, what is up, record breakers? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Will here, and today we have a live photo editing session cooking up in the background. And I'm excited for this video. It's been about 4 years since I started my professional photography journey, doing freelance work and kind of developing my style. And before, it was a lot of trial and error. The editing took forever, but now I have developed like my style and my workflow, and I thought it would be cool to show you guys the behind the scenes. I always show you guys the behind the scenes of us like taking the pictures but never editing. So I thought it would be cool to change it up for once. And today I'll be editing my photo project with Mia, who is a Bay Area singer. Be sure to check her out. She's very talented, and make sure to link her down below so you guys could check her out. She came to me with an idea. She had a flower theme that she wanted to bring to life, portraits, portrait pictures. And so I immediately started thinking it's mid March. There's not much going on as far as flowers blooming right now. It's still a little too early. But I figured I've always had a pretty good success rate with the Japanese tea garden as far as like flower themes. So I suggested it to her. She liked the idea, and so that was the plan, and we went. And sure enough, we came out with some pretty incredible pictures. I'm excited. I actually already started editing, but I'm excited to show you guys what some. I'm gonna just edit 3 pictures because this could easily turn into like a 3-hour video if I did the whole thing. So I'll just be going through 3 of the pictures from that day, editing from start to finish, and that'll be it. Um, and if you guys have any questions or any comments for me, like any feedback will be great. Be sure to comment down below. And if you guys enjoy this video, please make sure to like it. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing a lot more. I'll be doing a lot more with the channel here in the near future. And so, subscribe and share it if you think it was useful. And without further ado, let's get to editing. Peace. We're on Lightroom now, and I am going to just pick 3 pictures to edit from start to finish. I think this is a good one. So I already, as you can see, I already edited it, but we're going to make a copy, virtual copy, and we're gonna basically start from scratch, reset it, and this is what the raw file looks like with no editing. So it's a flat profile. And the idea that I had with this particular shot was kind of like a tropical vibe. I know she wanted flowers, but there were some flowers, and we'll get to those shots later. But we did come across this little area that she fit right into, and it had the green, and I think they made her skin tone and her white dress pop. So to start, we're going to go ahead and crop it. So I like doing the 4:5 ratio just because that is the perfect ratio for Instagram. And I like to look at this corner here. Usually I like to align this with the eye, so pretty good, and that creates a nice composition. So we have the green here, green up top, we have her in the center subject, so it's a really nice portrait. And then next up, I like to see if there needs to be any straightening in the picture. So we have this auto transform tool, which kind of straightens the picture a little bit, and we'll click that. Don't really need lens correction, but I click it anyways because just in case. And then I like to use the Maston Lab presets. So Kirk Maston is a film photographer. He's like a veteran in the photography world, and he developed these presets that emulate film And if you guys know me, I love film, so um, I went ahead and bought them. They're the most expensive presets I've seen on the market, but they're well worth it. Presets are kind of like filters in a way. They kind of give you a foundation to start from, and then you have to go in and basically fine tune it for your particular shot. So the preset is part of my workflow, and I have a few of Kirk Maston's presets, as you can see here. I love film, and if you've shot film before, then you know how expensive it is. It's about $12 a roll, and then about $30 to get it developed and get it digitized. So one roll of film has about 24 to 36 shots, and so you're looking at $40 for every roll of film. And as you can see here with this particular project, we shot 600 pictures. And so you could just imagine if you had to shoot 600 pictures of film, how expensive that will become. So the fact that he's been able to emulate film and I could do this with a digital camera is like so amazing. So I applied the preset on this portrait picture of Mia. And first thing I want to do is adjust the temperature, maybe soften it a little bit. So we click all soft here, and it'll soften the highlights and the shadows a bit. And then we can see what auto white balance does. Doesn't do much. I like going back and forth between the original. So this is the previous edit, so that's not gonna work. But what I meant by original is the flat profile. And I guess because I made a copy, it's not gonna come through. So we'll just do it from scratch. So just adjusting the exposure, and now the temperature. Cool it down just a little bit, and maybe reduce the orange just a little bit. And then the tint, not gonna adjust it too much, it was pretty good. And then what I like to do, I do this for every portrait where my subject smiles. I like to go and use the brush tool with the teeth whitening effect, and just go in here and just touch this up. Now what happens with teeth is that they're usually in the shade with the lighting, and so they just kind of get darkened up. So I like to go in here, whiten the teeth, and you can have the whitest smile and it's still gonna happen. So that's why this tool is great, because you could go in here, just adjust it, and it gives it a natural look. It doesn't look I like to keep things as natural as possible with the edits, unless there is certain projects where they'll like me to go in and remove blemishes, in which I do that as well. And that's the final product right there. So the other thing I could maybe do here is add another brush mask and just soften the skin a little bit around the lips. So we're just gonna soften just a bit. Nothing crazy. It's just softening the lips, and I do this for almost everyone as well. And that just kind of softens here, makes the whole image a little softer. So that is the final edited version of this portrait shot right here. And the preset I use is Ektar, which is more. It has a lot more contrast than the other films presets. And the reason I chose that one is because of the green and the solid background. So I just wanted her to pop a little bit more. The extra contrast basically did that for us. So there's that. Another picture I want to do is one of the last ones over here. So maybe we could do this one. I'll reset it completely instead of making a copy. That way you guys can see the before and after. So we'll go to reset. Boom. So this is a raw file shot from the camera. No editing done to it yet. And we could go with Ektar here. I just think that's gonna be too much contrast. So instead of Ektar, I am going to apply the Fujifilm 400H, which if you guys are familiar with film, then you know that for Fuji 400H, the film stock has been discontinued. So having a preset that emulates it is incredible. I was actually pretty bummed out when they announced that they were going to discontinue the film. So just go back here real quick. As you can see, once I applied the preset, the picture is not perfect. Like, this is the raw file, this is with the preset, and you could tell that it's too cool. We need to warm it up. It's too dark, so we need to bump up the exposure a little bit. So once we do that, that's pretty good exposure right there. Then we want to go ahead and adjust the temperature here on the right and warm it up a little bit. So just warming it up, and then we want to go back and forth, maybe just a little bit more. And then the tint, so the green and magenta, I'm gonna bring the greens down a little, slide it over to the magenta side just a bit, a little too much. Okay, there we go. So now we see this is a more light and airy type feel. I think I could boost the exposure just a little bit, and we're gonna bring the highlights and shadows down. Now there's too much space up here, so I am going to crop this just a bit, and again going with the eye in the center here. That's gonna be a good exposure. Boom. So go back, forth, and then I like to compare it to another edited picture. So this is a perfect example of me. Oh, this is Ektar, but still me rushing through the edit. So what I like to do to make sure the colors are accurate is I'll edit all the photos in one session, and then I come back to the photos the next day with fresh eyes, go through all the photos, make sure that the white balance is correct and the colors before I deliver the photo. So I like kind of double checking my work. All right, so that looks good. And then for the white balance, I'm paying attention to her dress because it's white, and so we want to just make sure that that's what we're looking at. This is a white, making sure that the white is white and not cool and not too warm. So we got that perfect. Now go in here and do those final touches that I like to do. And I don't think people, I don't think the subjects realize I do this, which is a good thing. But it makes a difference, and I'm sure, I know I would appreciate it. Someone came in and took the time to just fix these little details. I like going through each tooth individually as opposed to just running through, like just running through all of them. You get a more natural feel or result doing it this way, just one tooth at a time, because we're just trying to focus on the teeth and not on the rest of the mouth. And then we want to create a new one for soft the skin a little bit. So our lips, unless we're like really good at hydrating, they could come out a little dry and choppy. So that's why this tool is great, and I find myself doing this all the time, literally for everyone. So I'm sure if I took portraits, I'll have to do this for myself, because I'm not the best at hydrating. And bam, so it's looking good. I haven't added grain, so grain is the last thing I like to do. Now I'm gonna make sure that the white balance is good here. Looks a little bit warm, so put down a little bit and add a little bit of magenta, and I think we got it down now. Put it down just a little. There we go. All right, cool. And I like looking at these meters too, just to see where we're at. It looks like I could maybe bump the highlights a bit. Let's see if I just bring the shadows down just to get a little bit more detail back here. All soft is the way to go. So then I see some correction I could do on the lip here with Photoshop. So this picture is almost done. So I'm just gonna go in here really fast and just edit right here, just to reduce that. There we go. Boom. So nothing crazy. That was it right there. Close this. Oops. It should save. So once you save it on Photoshop, it will automatically save it into Lightroom. So this is the final version for this one. Didn't do much, just adjusted the colors and removed some blemishes, and that's it. So that's photo number 2. And then the other photo that I wanted to edit is this one. So as you can see, we got some really incredible like shots out at the Japanese tea garden. And so this one here, we'll go ahead and reset. And so this is a raw file, unedited. I'm gonna go ahead and apply Fuji, and I can already tell it's a bit warm just from the original shot. So expose temperature, we're gonna cool it down a little bit because it was a bit warm. Right about there. Add a little bit of magenta because it was too green. And that looks pretty good. We're gonna soften this. Lens correction. Just boom. Now we'll go in here and do the finishing touches really fast. Boom. So remember, I'm just going through each tooth and individually, because if you try to run it all the way through, you're gonna get an unnatural effect, because it'll affect the rest of whatever it touches. Really, whatever the brush touches is gonna get pretty whitened. So what it's doing is just eliminating any saturation. So any color there, it's gonna take it off, which is great for whitening teeth, but not so great for the rest of the skin or the lips. So, and I apologize if you guys can hear everything going on in the background. This mic is great, so I'm sure it's picking all that up. So just going through here, we're almost done with this one. Boom. Boom. And the next one is softening the lips. So we got a new mask, skin soften, and then we're just running it through just to soften the lips a little bit. The other thing is the lipstick. Depending on the lipstick, it will add a lot of shine to the area, and that's why wearing makeup is great when taking pictures, because it softens the light, especially with our skin, especially with people that have a lot of oil on their skin. The light will just kind of shine, and it will create harsh lighting conditions. So that's it for this one. We want to compare it to the other ones, make sure that they are nearly identical. And there you go. That's pretty much it. That's the final product. So I basically do this with all the photos, at least for portraits. Now I'll probably do another session with landscapes, and then another session with like wildlife photography, because they all have a different workflow. They're very similar, but they are different and distinct from one another. So that's pretty much it. So that is my editing workflow using Lightroom and the Mastin Lab presets. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.